All right, the next group we have is Madera County Department of Corrections. We have Manuel Perez and Officer Stephen Alva. And thank you guys for being very understanding. We have a very small little area in here, and I know it's certain not to take up a lot of the small little area.
I read the email. We only had a couple minutes, so I'm not going to take as long as Julie. So we're going to be really quick. You know, what's neat about the agencies we see here is the cooperation and collaboration we have with each other. Because it just like they said, you know, to recognize the men and women among these organizations is an honor. In that, I want to give thanks to the Madera Kiwanis Club. I mean, that's important to recognize the law enforcement officers. And I want to say on behalf of the Department of Corrections, because it's an institution where sometimes we tend to forget that everything that happens on the streets, they have to go somewhere. And this is one of the officers, and his name is Officer Stephen Alva, that is given the task to deal with these individuals day in and day out. And when we heard about the 11 years sentence, you know, we're in joy, but we're hoping he goes to state prison.
It is.
All right.
Celebration right there.
Thank you. And the reason why, we do have somebody in the county doing 11 years. So they're going to be there when, well, at least when I retire. So, but on that, I want to talk a little bit about Stephen Alva and his accomplishments. He's a 15-year veteran with the department. He's an example, to me, he's an example why the department is so successful. And when we talk about success, sometimes we grade ourselves of basically staying out of the limelight, staying out of the media, staying out of the issues of the county and issues like that. We have a hard job, and we follow legislation on what we have to do. And as an administrator, these are the kind of individuals that I rely on day in and day out to make those decisions and do what's right. Officer Alva, he exemplifies the unseen talent behind the walls of the institution. And one of the questions, when we put it out to Officer of the Year, it comes back to me. And I'll tell you, I do ask myself the questions of, why does Alva stand out above a lot of the officers that just do an exceptional job day in and day out? And sometimes we have to read in order for us to learn. So what I do is I pull the evaluations. So I pull these evaluations, and I want to see what his supervisors over the years have said about Alva. And that's what I want to share with you this evening. And these are the words of his supervisors. His attitude is both professional and confident. Alva has voluntarily taken on additional duties as a correctional officer. Alva is thorough in his duties and holds inmates accountable for their actions. And I'll tell you that right there, it's easy to say those words, but to get the men and women that don't want to be there to listen to you is very difficult. So we use verbal judo. And when verbal judo doesn't work, we just use judo. So, easily accepts new challenges. Alva has excelled in the ability to take a trainee who is struggling under another trainer and gets him squared away. And I would say with Alva, that is a really big issue that stands out with him, because he's our go-to guy when it comes down to training. If we have an officer, a young officer, who just isn't getting it, we do everything in our power to make them succeed. And Alva steps up and always takes on that challenge and says, I will make him perform. And he finds a way, and he does it every single time. And that was one of the things that really stood out when I understood that, you know what, Officer Alva is our guy for the Officer of the Year this year. He's worked with the training department to raise the standards of training within the department. And it is my pleasure to introduce Officer Stephen Alva.
just be brief. I didn't really prepare anything, but like he was saying, when it comes down to training, we've had several issues with several people. Everyone trains at a different capacity. With our department, we have a very tough job, and sometimes we have to do things that any man or woman is very uncomfortable doing. And so that's something that's just a key, a hallmark of a good trainer, is to make someone successful. So that might be one of the reasons why I'm standing in front of you guys today, but that's kind of hard to teach people unless you've been through a lot and seen quite a bit and know how to treat people. So thank you very much. Thank you all, you guys.
Patrol. We have Lieutenant Craig Constant, make sure I'm saying that right, and Officer Tim McCown. Okay, so as I was trying to hunt this guy down to be able to give him the email, I'd call up and I always ask for Tim